Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be talking about concerns that gamers have regarding CD Projekt Red as well as their upcoming release of The Witcher 4. Now, ever since the trailer for this game was released at the Game Awards, there's been a lot of discussion about the game. Obviously, it's a very successful franchise, but people are really talking about the choice of the main protagonist for this game, the latest Witcher, which is now Ciri. Now, people are making a lot of different comments. We're going to focus on the lore-related concerns, but also people were criticizing the design, saying she's more masculine, but also some people said it's fine and maybe she's just a little bit older in this game. I don't know. I don't really think it's like the biggest concern for them right now. They have a lot of other issues facing not only this game, but also CD Projekt Red as a whole. But that didn't stop journalists from basically labeling her as the latest girl boss. You can see Rock, Paper, Shotgun, they're still going these days, with this headline saying, having Ciri as the Witcher 4 lead will help the game explore the Witcher world's sexism, says CD Projekt Red. Now, I'm going to be very critical of CD Projekt Red in this video, but I got to defend them here because that is not what they said. That headline is very misleading. If you can read the quotes here, they mention nothing about combating sexism in the world. Just kind of an embarrassing article here, but let's go back to the concerns about the main protagonist here and the real ones, okay? Despite how games journalists might frame some of this stuff, people are not concerned about a woman taking on this role in the game as the main protagonist. In fact, a lot of people enjoy the character Ciri, especially based on Witcher 3, and I don't think a lot of people would have an issue with her having a big role in The Witcher 4. However, the fact that she's a Witcher is what's causing the controversy because to many, it seems like it's violative of established lore. Now, I'm not some expert on Witcher-related lore, so correct me if I'm wrong about some things in the comments section, but it seems like very established lore that only men could be Witchers, that the task of going through the trial of the grasses is so physically brutal that a woman just physically could not make it through. That seems like that was a very established piece of lore, and a lot of people are saying this choice is violating that lore. Now, in response to that, there's been a lot of discussions and interviews by people at CD Projekt Red and on the team for this game, trying to dispel some of those lore-related concerns. We can see the director here, Kolemba, as well as the CD Projekt Red franchise and lore designer, Kane Maher, if I'm pronouncing that right. We'll talk about him later in the video, but they say outright that these changes to Ciri's character will not come at the expense of the series canon, but will instead represent a natural evolution of her character, and they go on to clarify 100% that she has in fact successfully completed the trial of the grasses, so she is a Witcher the same way her predecessors were, and there's no like pseudo-Witcher status that she has. She outright completed the trial, so now you have to say, well, did they violate established lore? And based on this, they're trying to say that they're not, and I don't really know. Like, this explanation really is lacking, and you think, why is this really an issue in the first place? And some of these concerns about the lore being switched around and rewritten to make this protagonist choice work has to do with the fact they're disregarding the original intent of the author who wrote this saga. And you can see this headline here, CD Projekt Red admits original author was not consulted on Ciri's Witcher role in Witcher 4. So they make it very clear in an interview here, the developer as well as this Weber individual from CD Projekt Red, that they did not consult the author about The Witcher 4 or this choice of Ciri as the latest Witcher. So they're asked outright by this interviewer at Eurogamer, has he explicitly said yes, that this choice is absolutely fine and that she could make it through the trial of the grasses? And Weber responds saying, I can actually give you a very good answer because it's written that Sapkowski usually gives. The answer is in the books. And in the books, Sapkowski called Ciri a Witcher multiple times, and Geralt called Ciri a Witcher in the books too. So I think that basically says what Sapkowski, the author, thinks about the topic. And I think that's a very lame answer. Okay, they're saying, I'm going to use the words of the original author to confirm what we're doing is right, but we also are just making up those words for him. He didn't actually talk to us. We didn't consult with him on the topic, so we're just going to infer what he might have thought about this subject. And I think that's a bit unfair, and I think that is something that is kind of concerning, because it seems like they don't really care about the original intent that much, because if they did, they would definitely consult him about this issue and have an answer ready. They had to know they were going to be pressed about this choice of Ciri as a Witcher. But anyways, they would also double down on this in other interviews as well. And we would see that individual, once again, the lore designer, franchise designer at CD Projekt Red, Maher, he would confirm that same sort of thing, saying, they were called a Witcher by the author, which, again, people point out that she was often called a Witcher as sort of a playful thing. And again, it's kind of like a lame way to justify this choice. But again, let's talk about this Maher individual. You can see they are, of course, the franchise and lore designer at CD Projekt Red. Now, they're having a bit of a hard time on Twitter today because of all of this related lore debate. People have been focusing on the lore designer, obviously, and they're starting to dig through his accounts, and it doesn't look great. Another person in the gaming industry who clearly has a disdain for gamers. Many such cases. So here's some of the tweets in this conversation, I guess implying that him and I think his wife will punch gamers together. Also, he is a journalist from The Gamer, which is known for a lot of slop articles and is constantly ridiculed by gamers for not being a good news source on the related subjects. On top of that, there's this conversation where he says gamers are already bad enough in response to a deleted post. But this one's really telling. It says, if you're an adult who loses their mind to the concept of pronouns, which everyone, everywhere, throughout all of history has used every single day, there is something wrong with your life, but it's not what you think it is. The wokes aren't out to get you. You're just a clown. I honestly feel sad when I see people who have very clearly lost the ability to think because they have been swallowed whole by some insane or inane grift. It is absurd that people can be so far gone that they will publicly go berserk at the sight of the word they, or even just pronoun. This isn't really a new or even worthwhile observation, but people online are way too obsessed with other people's lives and choices. Who gives a shit what anyone else is doing once they're content and not harming anyone? Let people be happy and mind your own business. So yeah, this guy is all about pronouns, clearly likes the use of the term they. And again, with the gaming industry right now, this is the type of stuff people don't want to hear about someone in charge of parts of a game, especially the lore of a game that is so anticipated like The Witcher 4. But there's some other tweets. It seems like they're very angry. They're trying to mock an individual for basically criticizing ugly character designs. It seems like they don't like people doing that. On top of that, you can see this comment. I don't know what exactly he's referring to, but you can see 2 years ago, he said the worst thing about this is when it's also done in bad faith. Not only will YouTubers monetize your work, they'll do it while talking about how wrong and stupid you are in front of millions. Strong anti-woke audience. How is this considered acceptable is beyond me. So clearly they have an issue with YouTubers, which if it wasn't already confirmed they're a journalist, there it is, because journalists absolutely hate YouTubers with a burning passion. But on top of that, it seems like they have a negative view of YouTubers with a anti-woke audience, which is a lot of channels right now, and it seems like this is not a very good stance to have if you want to not end up the subject of videos criticizing you and the games you're working on, the studio you work at. Also, we will see Vera Dark here. Thank you for doing the good work, some honest work here, finding their interactions with Alyssa Mercante. So basically, you'll play right here. She's just scrolling through with the @ of Alyssa Mercante, former Kotaku editor, of course, and they're regularly interacting with her posts for years and years. And honestly, if you're the kind of person who's regularly interacting with someone like Alyssa Mercante and you're in the gaming industry, that is a really bad look. Let's just be honest about that. On top of that, let's see here that this isn't the first time that we've had someone at CD Projekt Red lashing out. In fact, it's not the second time. It's not even the third time. It's happened multiple times. And only a few weeks ago, the CD Projekt Red senior experienced designer was mocking a fan who was worried about DEI-related concerns. This was the initial interaction. IGN posting this Witcher 4 preview here, where this individual said, "I'm not excited over it, and the Witcher series is one of my favorite game series. CD Projekt Red is too deep into DEI, ESG bullshit," where this person goes, the hand over mouth emoji and a clown emoji. So this person at CD Projekt Red, at the very least, calling this person a clown for pointing out DEI concerns. And based on how you interpret this emoji here, you might see this as telling her to shut up, where she interacts by saying, "Wow, that's so very professional of you. You know I'm a customer and more than that, a fan of the Witcher series, and you're a senior experience designer at CD Projekt Red. Are you sexist too?" Telling a woman to shut up and calling her a clown. And then he says, "Immediate allegations, along with misinterpreting. Just wow." So dismissing anything she was saying once again. And I went back to find this interaction, by the way, and it appears that this designer is suspended. His account is gone, and it's only been a couple weeks since this interaction happened. So that's really weird. I have not seen many professional people from the industry get their Twitter account suspended. So he must have been saying some stuff or doing something, I don't know, but his account is gone. And now let's just turn to CD Projekt Red in general, okay? So some people are asking the question, is CD Projekt Red woke? And the answer is yes, like no doubt whatsoever. They are one of the most woke gaming companies out there. They are very open about it, and you could overlook these things if you're producing good games. But now when you're slowing things down and people are worried about upcoming releases like The Witcher 4, people start paying more and more attention to the DEI slop on their website and really just filled throughout their entire company. And this is a strange topic because we covered this about 2 months ago. The CEO actually quote tweeted Endymion, who's a YouTuber. We've talked about some of his reports on the gaming industry. And back a couple months in October, he talked to an insider who revealed that the CD Projekt Red environment, their work environment, is just riddled with DEI. It's like you can't escape it over there. And the CEO, Michael Nowakowski, felt so pressed by this claim. He made this tweet basically denouncing everything that Endymion was reporting on, saying, "Seems we live in times where anyone can record complete nonsense and make a story out of it. CDPR, talent leaving? We have the lowest rotation of people in recent years. DEI-driven recruitment, we hire based on merit and talent alone, just as we make games driven by artistic vision alone." So yes, this whole claim that there's merit-based decisions, and they do that even with their choice of how they make their games and their who they hire and how they advance and all these things. And people gobble this up. So they saw him going after a YouTuber who's anti-woke, and people were cheering this on. They're like, "Wow, oh my God, yeah, go after that grifter, yeah, prove those anti-woke people wrong." But these claims by the CEO were instantly challengeable. Like, I can't believe the gaslighting that this person tried to attempt. I mean, you go to their website, they have a whole page. In fact, they have multiple sections dedicated to diversity and inclusion. It's like one of the first things they want you to know about their company. And you talk about merit-based, they have programs where they outright state that being a woman in the company will help you advance faster. They also have a program, Girls in the Game, that is only open to women. Men are not allowed to apply for this. So again, the whole merit-based thing, very interesting. But there's more and more if you keep going across here. And they have one of their pillars, one of their goals. And the first thing is strengthening the DEI culture at CD Projekt by, among others, fostering inclusive leadership. And that is also another thing they look in terms of their leadership positions, diversity. It's an actual thing that impacts whether or not you're getting a leadership role, how diverse you are. On top of that, they have diversity not just with their employees, but with their games as well. As they state here, we are making efforts to place in our games characters of different personalities, social classes, ethnic groups, and sexual preferences. We show the inequality that exists in the world, the diverse paths that people take, as well as various problems they must overcome. Yes, very wholesome chungus. I'm sure gamers will go wild over such a beautiful goal. It made me almost shed a tear, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, it gets so crazy with them. They literally won an award for DEI. They won a DEI award because they're that entrenched in this stuff. But the CEO told you none of this is happening right to your face. Yes, CD Projekt Red is woke. I don't think there's any debate about that. And everything going on with The Witcher 4 and some of these choices and some of the concerns about the lore being violated or not respected, and also some of the behavior of the people involved with that project, I think there's reason for concern. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with The Witcher 4. It's going to be a game that's highly anticipated no matter what, but there seems to be some rolling momentum about criticism being lodged towards not only that game, but CD Projekt Red as well. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.